In a world just overflowing with information, how do you quickly get to what really matters? You want to be well informed, right? But without feeling totally overwhelmed. That's pretty much our mission here on the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating journey. We're connecting ancient wisdom with very modern environmental challenges. We're going to explore how a centuries-old Sanskrit hymn can offer some, well, incredibly profound insights into our planet's most pressing ecological issues today.
Yeah, and what's truly compelling, I think, is where we're drawing these insights from. It's a detailed scholarly article. It's titled Ecocritical Perspectives in Prithvi Sukta. This research, it was published in the Jetire Journal, and it's penned by Dr.Noojilla Srinivas, who's a lecturer in English and a research scholar, along with Professor T. Ashok. They've meticulously unpack the environmental consciousness that's just deeply embedded in this ancient text, one of humanity's oldest, really.
Right. So our mission for you today is to pull out the most impactful nuggets from this analysis, this look at the Prithvi Sukta. We want to give you a fresh understanding of its timeless relevance to our planet and our place within its delicate balance. Okay, let's dig in. So, to really get the Prithvi Sukta, we first need to understand the lens, the analytical lens that Dr. Srinivas and Professor Ashok are using. And that's ecocriticism. Now, that might sound like a pretty modern academic term.
It does, yeah.
But as the article reveals, the spirit behind it is, well, surprisingly ancient.
Oh, absolutely. Ecocriticism is a modern literary theory.
Right.
It formally emerged really in the 1970s. Cheryl Glotfelty, she famously defined it as the study of the relationship between literature and the physical environment. So it basically tries to connect literary analysis with ecological issues, looking at how nature is represented in texts. But, and this is a remarkable point the article makes, this deep environmental consciousness, this way of thinking about our relationship with nature, it's existed for millennia, long, long before the term ecocriticism was even coined.
That's a really crucial distinction, isn't it? Because it means this isn't just some Western concept we're pasting onto old texts.
Exactly.
The article makes a really strong case that ancient Indian literature, including the Vedas, the Upanishads, it always emphasized environmental protection. And that harmony between humans and nature.
Precisely. Even without the specific label ecocriticism, these ancient texts were already doing the work. Think about the epic Ramayana or the classical works of Kalidasa like Abhinyana Shakuntalam or Meghadootham. In those, even things like clouds and seasons become central characters. They weren't just background.
Right, they're active parts of the story.
Exactly. They consistently address themes ecocriticism focuses on today. They saw the whole ecosystem as built on the Panchabhutas, these 5 fundamental elements. Prithvi, which is earth.
Earth, right.
Apis, water. Tejas, fire. Vayu, air, and akasha, the ether or space. And the crucial insight there, the article points out, is that these weren't just like physical things. They were seen as sacred, interconnected forces. You disturb one, you fundamentally mess up the whole balance. It's a very early, very profound understanding of ecological interdependence.
That deep framework, that way of thinking, brings us straight to the star of our deep dive today then. The Prithvi Sukta itself. So what exactly is this hymn? Why is it considered so foundational for this ancient environmental wisdom?
Okay, so the Prithvi Sukta, it's a profound hymn found in the Atharva Veda. That's one of the 4 foundational Vedic texts. And it's pretty unique because it's 63 verses entirely, completely dedicated to Mother Earth.
63 verses just on Earth?
Just on Earth. It really lays out a comprehensive understanding of, well, eco-friendly ideas, you could say. It focuses on how human civilization can understand Earth's treasures, but also use them sustainably. It sees human progress as totally tangled up with the well-being of the whole universe, the whole ecosphere. And it details these complex links, between the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, the biosphere, how they all work together to provide resources.
So we've set the stage. This ancient wisdom is there. But what does the Prithvi Sukta actually teach? What are its core principles about our connection to the Earth? Let's peel back those layers, maybe start with what it says actually sustains the planet.
Good question. What holds the Earth up? According to the Sukta, anyway. Well, the very first verse states that Earth is upheld by truth, settled laws, sacred oblation, penance, the supreme reality, and sacrifice. So, quite profound concepts right there.
Big ideas.
And it portrays Earth as the presiding deity of all those who exist and are yet to be born. And there's this hope expressed that it creates enough space for everyone. So it establishes this universal, ordered, almost spiritual framework for our relationship with the planet, right from the get-go.
It's a really powerful framing, isn't it? Almost spiritual, like you say. And this idea, this image of Earth as a nurturing mother figure that seems to run throughout the whole hymn.
It absolutely does. It's central. The foundational idea from the Suktam in the Rig Veda, this idea that earth is mother and all men are its children, that's beautifully echoed, repeated multiple times in the Prithvi Sukta. Earth is shown as purifying herself for humanity, providing this pleasant, stable place, granting never-ending happiness, prosperity. And there's one really poignant verse, verse 59, where Mother Earth is said to give courage to men with her milk filled with gentleness, fragrance, kindness, and sweetness. It really emphasizes this deep, nurturing, incredibly generous relationship.
It's amazing how comprehensive it is. And it's not just abstract concepts, is it? The Sukta also gets into the tangible stuff, the actual elements of Earth and its resources, almost like you said, a loving inventory.
Yes, exactly. It meticulously details Earth's physical features, heights, slopes, great plains, mountains, forests. It lists them. It even mentions the different colors of soils, brown, black, red, multicolored.
Yep.
And what's really insightful there, I think, is that deep, almost reverent attention to specific detail. In such an ancient text, it signals this profound appreciation for Earth's diverse forms, not just what we can get from it.
Right, not just its utility.
Precisely. And crucially, it elaborates on the vast resources Earth provides. Plants, forests, abundant water, seas, rivers, streams. And these are likened to nourishing milk. It even calls Earth the giver of breath and life, saying it helps us live gracefully until old age.
Okay, so it covers the physical Earth, the resources. But what about life itself? You mentioned it's not just human focus. How does it embrace, all life, the whole ecosystem?
That's another remarkable aspect. The Prithvi Sukta gives really equal importance to non-human living beings. It recognizes that the progress of civilization actually relies on their wellness too. It specifically mentions cattle, horses, fowls, and it refers to rich biodiversity wild animals like lions, tigers, even birds like flamingos and eagles are mentioned.
Lions and tigers.
Yeah.
Wow.
It refers to the 5 races of men, but also supports both bipeds and quadrupeds, all creatures. It shows this really deep spirit of biodiversity consciousness, this recognition that all life forms are connected, they're all essential. It even notes details like the fragrance coming from plants and waters and the different layers of earth, stones, rocks, dust. It's incredibly detailed.
That level of detail, especially about biodiversity from an ancient text, is just astonishing. But beyond what Earth gives us, perhaps the most powerful message, especially thinking about today, is about human responsibility. What does it say about our role?
Right, which leads to the question, how do we act responsibly towards this nurturing Earth, according to the Sukta? Now, it does describe mankind as all-conquering, having conquered all other creatures on the Earth.
Okay.
But interestingly, this isn't presented like, pride or dominion. It's framed more as a prayer of thanks to Earth for granting humans such a position. And the Sukta is very explicit about human duty. There's one passage, verse 28, where the person promises, "Whether in rising or sitting, standing or walking, he shall not stumble with his right or left foot upon the earth." Meaning, essentially, tread lightly, be gentle. It emphasizes the need for mindful, careful conduct towards the earth.
Tread lightly. That's a powerful and timeless message.
Yeah.
But maybe the most poignant warning, especially connecting to modern industrial practices, comes from another verse, right? The one about not piercing the earth.
Yes, verse 35. That verse, the article argues, is really the crux of man's basic responsibility. It states, whatever he reaps out of the earth may replenish. And then, crucially, he also wishes not to pierce the vital spots or the heart of the earth.
The heart of the earth.
Exactly. It's this powerful pledge by the Vedic Indian not to resort to mindless exploitation. And the article explicitly draws the parallel here. It says this sounds a warning bell to the modern man who is exploiting the Mother Earth in every aspect by digging every element out of the core of the earth: oil, gas, minerals, coal, stones, rocks, sand.
Right, the extraction industries.
Yes, and also destroying the forests, polluting the mountains, soils, and water resources. The single verse, the authors argue, truly reflects that original Indian spirit of eco-consciousness. A really stark contrast to, well, a lot of current global practices.
It's incredible how directly that ancient plea resonates with our current environmental crisis.
Wow.
Okay, finally, let's just briefly touch on how this deep dive into the Prithvi Sukta connects to maybe broader themes, like human society, the spiritual side.
Yeah, it does touch on those too. It speaks about social and cultural diversity. It refers to varied geographical areas, different cultural varieties, languages, customs. It makes the point that the same Earth is home to both fools and wise men. It endures both good and bad and allows everyone to coexist.
Acknowledging diversity.
Exactly. It recognizes that everyone shares this one planet. And yes, there are strong religious and spiritual elements woven throughout. Earth is seen as guarded by gods. Like Indra, he's frequently praised as Earth's protector. There are references to Vishnu, Asvins, Gandharvas, Apsarasas. Even demons are mentioned as part of this cosmic reality.
It integrates everything.
It really does. It integrates the Panchabhutas, those 5 elements we talked about, and other natural forces like Agni, fire, and Surya, the sun. They're all seen as integral parts of this grand system that's meant to bring wisdom and ultimately well-being to humankind.
So we've taken quite a deep dive then into ecocritical perspectives in Prithvi Sukta by Dr.Noojilla, Srinivas, and Professor T. Ashok. What really stands out, I think, is just how this ancient text, the Prithvi Sukta, offers this remarkably coherent, profound vision of ecological balance and human responsibility, and how deeply it resonates with our very modern challenges.
Absolutely. This deep dive really highlights that, long before modern environmental movements, long before the scientific warnings we hear today, the wisdom embedded in texts like the Prithvi Sukta provided a kind of blueprint, a comprehensive guide for a truly symbiotic relationship with nature. It's not just some historical curiosity, is it? It feels much more like a detailed guide on how we should treat our living planet, almost like treating it as an extension of ourselves.
So in a world really grappling with environmental crises, does this ancient wisdom, treating Earth as a nurturing mother whose heart we must not pierce, does it offer more than just history? Could it be a profound roadmap for our future? If we truly embrace that ancient perspective, how might our modern environmental solutions fundamentally change? That's definitely a question worth pondering long after this deep dive is over.